So here I am on my first little leg of my Opeongo trip. Had to stop and put the skirt on. It's a little bit windier than I thought. Well, here's my first camp. Well, actually my first and last camp, because I don't think I'm going to be traveling very far. Just got a couple of days here, so the wind was really strong and the water's really cold. My hands are freezing. But this camp is beautiful. Stayed here before. It's a beautiful camp. This guy here is already looking for handouts. I didn't even get unpacked yet. Here I am after a nice supper. Actually, I forgot to look on the package to see what that kind of rice was, but it was Uncle Ben's the quick meal rice and sauce and stuff like that. And I actually put a little bit of the mushroom soup that I was having in there. Heated that up. Opened a can of sardines, put them on top. Didn't warm them up, just put them on after, heated it for a couple of seconds maybe. And was that ever good? Well, that was good. Anyway, just waiting for the water to boil here. And then make me a hot chocolate or something. And then sit and relax. But today, it was cloudy this morning and really cold, but it was calm, no wind, so that was great. And I took off toward Graham Creek, where I've been before, and seen the I think it's suckers or whitefish or something like that spawning. They run up this small creek, up the little rapids, and just like salmon. So I was here a few years ago and took pictures of that, and it was just great. Today, it was a whole different experience. On the way down there, I saw a couple of bald eagles, which was great. I was taking pictures of them and everything, and then as I was getting closer to the creek, they seemed to be hanging around that area. So I thought, okay, they're feeding on the fish going up, with lots of ravens and crows too. Anyway, in the back of my mind, I thought, wow, imagine if it was out west and the salmon were going up, and there'd be like grizzly bear and stuff like that too. So anyway, this creek is really overgrown. The branches are going over it and everything. So I paddled up for a little bit, and then I got on the shore, and it's really dense, shrubs and brush along the water edge. So I've got my saw an eagle up there, on the way in onto the creek. So I thought I'd be really quiet and go in stealthily. Anyway, I had my water shoes on, and as I was walking through the bush, I put all my stuff in my bag and zipped it up and everything, so I wouldn't have too much loose stuff to carry. Anyway, so I was sneaking through the bush, hardly making any sound because I had these shoes on, and not wanting to scare the eagles if they were there, so I could get a picture of them feeding. So I was going through the brush and I saw the little falls, and really quietly started to go around a fallen tree, which I'd just kind of gone next to and crept around silently. Anyway, I just stepped on the other side of the tree, and I noticed a black area, a large black area off to my right. So I looked at it, and sure enough, it moved a little bit, and it was a bear feeding on a fish. Now, the only thing I can think of, he didn't hear me because of the rapids right behind him, and he may not have smelt me because he had his head in a fish at the time. So here I was. It must have been about 10 feet away from this bear. He didn't know I was there. He was happily chomping on his food, and so right away I froze. I backed up and got down. Here I was like 15 feet away from the bear, which was on the other side of this tree, happily eating, and I just froze, and I really didn't know what to do, and I started to unzip my bag to get my camera out, because what a chance to take a picture, right? So I started to do that, but the noise, I figured being so close, I didn't want to startle him. The only thing I could think of is because he was feeding, he might feel threatened by somebody coming around his food. Anyway, so what I had to do is go back exactly the way I'd come, thereby getting closer to the bear just on the other side of this tree. Now the tree was pretty thick, like a lot of brush, so you couldn't see through it. But I very, very quietly, a couple of times I thought, no, maybe I should try to get a picture, but then I thought, well, no, is it worth being eaten? And then so I slowly scrambled, well, not scrambled, I stealthily backed out of there, back to the kayak. So I took the chicken way out rather than the adventurous photographer way, because the brush was so thick, there was no way you could have run. Like, yeah, I scrambled under through brushes to get there. So I was like, I felt very trapped for a while. Anyway, that was pretty exciting. There's some geese coming in now. Before the loons were calling pretty good, especially when I was playing, so let's try that again. Well, here I am in the middle of the lake, and I've put the fancy dancy camera away because I'm afraid it's going to get wet. Had a little sprinkle there before. So I got my little reliable camera out. Keeps working, keeps on ticking, and it's just beautiful out here. I'm all totally covered, and it was raining like crazy a few minutes ago, but there's one thing about kayak traveling: if you're completely covered and you're dry, you can go through anything.